All right, guys, welcome back to David Dudley Outdoors. And yes, this is going to be another hot topic, but I hope that we can logically discuss this together, okay? You guys did a phenomenal job on the previous video that I just put out a few days ago on 5 bass versus every fish counts debate, okay? Is it more appreciated on a 5 bass? Do you appreciate a 5 bass limit, or do you appreciate every fish counts? Or some of you guys were neutral. You guys did a phenomenal job, and when you commented, you gave me something to think about. You guys did excellent on that, and I've read literally almost every one of them. My mind is spinning. I even went into the replies looking at what you guys did. Thank you so much for that. And if we can, in this video, okay, if you comment, let's comment with a solution, a comment with, if you disagree with something I say, maybe give a solution or why you disagree, instead of just saying, I don't like what you said, which is fair. You can do that. But let's keep these comments steered towards, hey, let's discuss this in a logically way. Give me something to think about. You guys did phenomenal, and which is encouraging to me, because that's why I'm going to sit here and do video number 2. Now, today's topic, yes, you probably read in the thumbnail that we're going to be discussing is catching 12 inchers super easy to do, and can you do it all over the place? There's no skill in catching 12 inchers, but there's skill in catching big fish. Or is it just as much skill in catching 12 inchers as it is big fish? How does big fish come about typically in a tournament scene? We're going to discuss that. I'm going to give you examples of tournament winners. Maybe you can come to me with something to maybe trump me in my thinking, which is fine. I hope you bring to light, and I'm not saying one way or the other. We're simply just talking this out and saying, is it more skill in catching 12 inchers versus? Now, if you bring an example up of a tournament, which we're about to talk about, it has to be during live coverage days, okay? And what I mean by that is this. We live in a highlighted society, okay? And when we got to watch live coverage, live bass fishing coverage, we were able to watch these anglers 6 hours to 8 hours a day, watching them catch little ones, watching them catch big ones, watching them make their moves. We get to study. Actually, I put a video out about that, how to watch bass fishing live coverage. You can go back on the channel and check that out. So it has to be during live coverage day, because it's very key, because we live in a highlighted society where, like, for example, Instagram, just give me a picture and give me a couple words. Just highlight me of your day. Highlight me. ESPN highlights. We watch big bass get caught after a tournament's over on GoPro footage. We watch the TV show of highlights of all the big fish and key fish of the tournament, but you don't get to see all the little ones. So it's very important that if you comment during, if you bring up an example, which I hope you do, comment during only when live footage was here, because we get to see the whole day, not a TV show high footage. So if you bring an example up I'm just gonna bypass it, because it's not fair. It's not fair for you to get into this comment section and bring up something that's not fair. So it's very important that it's during that. Okay, so here we go. Is 12 inches catching 12 inchers better? Is there such thing as 12-inch schools? Food for thought. Is there such thing as schools of nothing but 5 to 8 pounders? Food for thought. Or is there big fish mixed in or is there big fish typically mixed in with other size fish is that typically how it happens? We're going to discuss all that, okay? So let's look at what does it take to even catch a fish. I don't care if it's 12 inchers. I don't care if it's giant bass. Let's discuss this. I actually got a piece of paper for you. All right. What does it take? And I'm going to put this up. Hopefully you can read. All right. That's for you to go back and hit the rewind button and study. Before you comment, study what I'm saying. Okay. So number one, we got to be able to select the right bait, the line, and the rod. Kind of common sense, but don't bypass it. Don't bypass what's common sense, because if you don't have the right line with the right bait, okay, and you don't have a good sensitive rod, and by the way, the rods I love, I designed myself, are Proficiency rods. Check them out, proficiencyrods.com. So if you don't have the right bait, the line, and the rod, number one, you're not going to start off right. Number 2 or 3, wherever we're at, location. This is a key point. And in fairness, I've heard a lot of, I've read a lot of comments talking about location, which means you're trying to locate a 12-incher in a different area that you're trying to locate a 5-pounder. In fairness, we're going to discuss that, okay? You got to be able to make the right cast, the right angle. You got to be able to feel the bite. Guys, I can't tell you how many times I've looked at my partner and go, dude, you're getting a bite. And he's like, catches one. Oh my gosh, you just saw that with your eyes. Yeah, I did. I saw it with my eyes. You got to be able to feel the bite. You got to be able to set the hook properly. You got to fight the fish properly. You got to land the fish properly. And you got to be mentally prepared. Okay? Is there any difference in what I just said when you're searching for a 12-incher or you're searching for a big bass? All these play a role. Every single one of them. There's not one that in this that I'm going to sit here and say that big fish you can do this with, but little fish you can't. No, this is standard all the way around the board. Okay? All right. Let's talk about location. Okay? What you perceive, what most people perceive is this, is that we go out and we search for areas that's got nothing but big ones, okay? Now, when I say we're talking the professional world of professional anglers, whether you're on the Bassmaster Tour or you're on the BPT Tour, Bass Pro Tour, okay? There's only like 60 professional anglers in the world. These are the professional anglers, are the guys who are at the top of their game. They're on the 2 highest level of circuits. They're putting up mega money. If you're on the Bassmaster side, you're putting up mega money to go play. And if you're on the BPT side, like I am, there's no entry fee. Okay, so but there's a lot of money that we're putting up. These are 4 to 5 day events. Okay, so we have to strategize 4 or 5 days, okay? All right, so here we go. Location. In fairness, I'm going to give this to you guys, okay? Because you're going to see which way I'm swaying towards. In fairness, location, I've heard this argument, hey, you're going to practice different on the Bass Pro Tour than you will on the Bassmaster Tour. Okay. Let's go back to live coverage. Live coverage exposes everything. You big fish hunters, you love the highlighted 5 bass limit. A lot of people do. I'm going to talk on, if you're on this side, I'm going to talk on this side. You love the fact that they can come in and we're going to see them hold a couple big fish up and we're going to see 18 pounds, 9 ounces. We're like, yeah. Or it could be, listen up guys, it could be 10 pounds, 9 ounces, and we're fist pumping over 10 pounds, 9 ounces. It all depends on what lake you go to, okay? So in fairness, people have said location, but I want you to think about this. Let's talk about tournaments. I told you I was going to talk about tournaments. When bass fishing came out, I'm going to give you a few examples. When we watched Kevin Van Dam win Kentucky on live footage, was he truly after big ones? Because on the show, they show him catching big one, big one, big one. Now, ho. Let's go back to live footage. He busted that school up in Kentucky Lake. 2-pounder, 2-pounder, throwing them back, 2-8, 2-8, 2-8, 2-8, 7-pounder. Now, that location had 12 inchers, 2-pounders, 3-pounders, and an occasional 7-pounder, whatever, 2-pounder, 2-pounder. You get the point. It was the whole food chain, per se, the whole gamut of fish on one hole. Was that a big fish hole? No. That was an everything hole. And he went on day after day, busting up school after school after school, weeding through them. And at the end of the day, the highlight film showed him showing all these big ones, and that's what we love. We love that. Okay? Now, was that location in a 12-inch hole, or was that location of fish? It's just locating fish, okay? I'm going to give you another example that I have, Edwin Evers, watching him win the Red Crest. Okay, guys, in that pool, 12 pounds was a good limit because he flat out wrecked them. There was a few people that wrecked them. But everybody else had like low teens. So a 12-pound bag, you're going to be like, oh my gosh, when he came across the scales, let's say he came across in a Coliseum and he held up, he goes, 12 pounds, 9 ounces. We're all erupting. Edwin Evers is awesome. He is a big bass hunter. He's a big bass fisherman. Ho, 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 ho. Guess what live footage just exposed? Now let's go back and watch Edwin Evers fishing. Okay? I'm going to paraphrase this for you. He was in a location of a lot of fish. Okay? Now, 12-pound limit in that pool on that Mississippi River that day, that particular day, that would be an awesome catch. So here we go. 1-pounder, 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 2-8. 1-pounder, 1-pounder, 1-1-1-1-1-1-1, 2-6, 1-1-1-1-1-1-1-1-1-1, 3-pounder, 1-1-1-1, 2-8, 1-1-1-1-1-1, 2-6, boom! 12 pounds, 9 ounces. You just watched the leader wreck the biggest bag of the day. 12 pounds, 9 ounces. And you're pissed off because he caught all those 1-pounders? Understand this, guys. Fish move together. We're talking about location. We're talking about 12 inchers versus big bass. I'm trying to make you get an understanding. Where does big bass come from? The same spots all the 1-pounders come from, for the most part. If I go in a creek and I get 25 bites in a creek, I make a lap, I go in and out of cove, 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 and I just, boom, 3-pounder, boom, 3-pounder, boom, 3-pounder. All those other fish I caught in between, they're living in the same spot too. They want to eat the same shad, the same crawdad, the same lizards, the same everything. They have to find food to eat. Okay? Food migrates in lake. So do the 12 inchers and so do all the big ones. Okay? So you just watched Edwin Evers in a location catch all the 1-pounders, but he also caught 12 pounds, 9 ounces, who probably would have been leading the tournament at that time. You got Ott Defoe at the Classic. Let's talk about Ott Defoe. Ott Defoe goes around throwing his rattle trap. He's a phenomenal fisherman. Phenomenal. We all know that. But you watch Ott Defoe, nickel and dime him, nickel and dime him, nickel and dime him, cull a little bit here, cull a little bit here. Then remember that giant he caught on a rattle trap? Was he swinging for the fin? Or did he go to a different location? No. It was like, boom, 6-pounder. The same fish are living in the same location. Guys, big fish locations doesn't happen everywhere you go. It doesn't happen. Very rarely do you pull up and go 5-pounder, 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 5-pounder. We're talking majority of the time, not minority. Can you do that in places? Absolutely. Absolutely, you can do that. Minority of the time, it's not going to happen. majority of the time, you're going to have to weed through a lot of fish to get there. So if your argument is this, if your argument is you're going to practice and go find 12 inchers in different places and you're going to go find big fish, no, you're not. I'm not. The 100 and whatever 50 professional anglers in the world, for the most part, we're going around just wherever we can get bit. Now I want to bring something up to you. The Bass Pro Tour went to some smaller lakes last year. And what I mean by smaller lakes, lakes that aren't known for giant bass. They had a lot of spotted bass in them, mixed in with largemouth. I know they went to Table Rock a few times. And other lakes that just had smaller bass in them. Now, without live coverage, okay, we will appreciate that 10 pounds on Table Rock is typically good. We're going to appreciate 12 pounds is a really good bag on Table Rock. So we're not looking for these high teen bags. We're just looking for a 9-pound bag would be awesome, okay? So understand that last year when you saw a lot of the 1-pounders get caught on the Bass Pro Tour, what's still awesome about it is you're still watching their decisions and watching what they do. But mixed in with all those 1-pounders, like right off the bat, I'm thinking of Jacob Wheeler, who was just skipping docks with a white jig during the shad spawn. He would have done that. I don't care where you're at. I mean, when the shad spawn's going on, that's a choice he did, and I guarantee you that wasn't a location thing where he caught a bunch of small ones. He went there and got a bunch of bites. And yet, throughout that day, we watched him catch some 2.5s. We watched him catch 1 or 2 over 3. And, like, he's bumping up into the 14-pound range. Like, we just watched probably the tournament leader catch all his fish. And, guys, what is so unique about no matter what lake you're at, you got to appreciate the lake that you're at and the weights that you're catching, what you're seeing them catch. Guys, you're getting to watch professionals in their job. So let's talk about location. Again, I just talked about location, talking about lakes where you're at. We're fishing the same spot. Now here, do you actually think, here's food for thought for you, do you actually think that the lake divides itself like Moses separating the sea, that the lake goes, okay guys, if you're not 3 pounds and bigger, you need to go to this part of the lake, and if you're 3 pounds or less, you need to head this way, because we don't want you over here or there or whatever. When that migration of shad happens, and them crawdads are headed to deeper haunts, to cooler water, they're not up there in shallow water. Guess where the 12 inchers are going? Guess where the 14 inchers are going? Guess where every spectrum of bass is going? Majority of bass, not minority. Don't trump me with a comment that says, I caught, majority of bass follow the food wherever it's at. That means 12 inchers, that means 5-pounders, that means we're still locating fish in the same areas that I would look for a 5-pounder at. Because guess what? That's where they're at. So if you're saying different locations, think about what I just said. Do you really think the majority of bass are like separated and this area is off limits to 12 inchers and this area is not? So again, I'll go back to watching live coverage. Guys, we're catching all the big fish that you're seeing on highlighted films in the same areas that you are with the 12 inchers. So I don't buy the fact that you're going to practice different for the Bass Pro Tour than you're going to practice for the, say, the Bassmaster Tour 5 bass limit. All right, so let's talk about a little bit like this. All right, we talked about. I want to bring this up to you. Got this in my notes. How many times has this happened in your boat? You and your buddy, you're out there, and you're throwing a Perfection lure shaky head, which I designed. And if you're not familiar with it, it's the only true, if I can get it to focus right. See the legs focus? Oh, there it is. It's the only true stand-up shaky head on the market, okay? So want to use this as an example. So this is perfectionlures.com. So let's just say both of you are in the boat and you're just out having a good time and you're throwing the Perfection Lure shaky head. Well, you get a bite. I get a bite. He gets a bite. I'm on my game, right angle, right cast, right presentation, right everything. I feel the bite. I catch another one. I catch another one. I catch another. The score is 6-1. And then your buddy in the back of the boat, you're destroying him. Your buddy in the back of the boat finally gets another bite. He sets the hook, and guess what? His is a 4-pounder. You know what he's going to say. Yeah, well, you can catch all those little ones, but I'm going after the big ones. We know, we've all heard it. We've had that guy in the back of our boat. He's just making an excuse. He got lucky. We're both throwing shaky heads. He happened to catch a 6-pounder, but I caught 14 pounds, and he had 1 6-pounder and 4 little dinks. You're not going to do that 4 days in a row, but he did that day. He caught a big one. Okay, again, guys, Did that 6-pounder, do you consider that 6-pounder skilled? Do you consider that 6-pounder he was targeting 6-pounders? Or do you just throw it off as luck, which I think a lot of big fish in fishing is luck. I'm talking tournament scene, okay? Understand that. So let's talk about this. For you guys that think 12 inchers are just, you can go out, I can go catch as many 12 inches as I am. Let's go back to the sheet. And you may think you can go out and catch more 12 inchers. How many times has fishing been tough and you're just wanting to get a bite? Just wanting to get a bite. Now you watch people on the Bassmaster Tour and the Bass Pro Tour, they're going out wrecking them. And they're like, oh, I can do that. I don't know. I don't know. So here's my opinion, guys. Catching 12 inchers, it's still a lot of skill and it's not luck to catch a 12 incher. It's not luck to just go out there and catch however many 12 inchers. And you guys are so caught up on this 12 incher thing. Yes, the Bass Pro Tour went to some 12 inch fisheries. And let me give you an example. But it's still skilled that these guys went out and found a 15-inch fish, which is a big fish for Table Rock. Okay? That's a big one. They were catching 15, 16, 17 inchers. That's big fish for that lake. And yes, they were catching 12. So let me give you another example. So during the Bassmasters Classic at Lake Martin, dude, the stadium was erupting when a 9 to 11 pound bag came in. Okay? They were cheering. They were like, boom. But when, a 7 to 5 pound bag, like those little keeper spotted bass bag, it wasn't. But it's all lake relative. And here on the Bass Pro Tour, and yes, I'm excited. I'm going to be fishing it this year. Yes, on the Bass Pro Tour, we got a hell of a schedule. So watching us, probably we're going to get a lot of big fish catches. But I just want you to understand that watch this year. Come watch this year. The same places that we're going to be trying to catch 12 inchers, watch how many big ones come in. And appreciate what you see, because you guys wasn't appreciating a 2-pounder that was caught at Table Rock because it's just 2 pounds. No, a 2-pounder was a hell of a fish. Okay, so what haven't we covered? I had on here, I didn't mention it, Aaron Martins with him winning Table Rock, just catching all the fish that he was catching. I think that about covers it. So guys, let me know what you think. Let me know if you think that catching 12 inchers is not skilled and there's something else involved in catching big fish. 4 days, guys, not 1 day. 4-day events, tournament scene. This is what I'm discussing on a professional level. And whoa, man, thirsty. On a professional scene, on a professional level. Guys, hit the like button, okay? Hit the like button. I appreciate it if you hit the like it. And I know you're going to comment. I loved reading your comments on the last one. Guys, let me know what you think. Bass fishing live coverage is awesome, guys. You can learn so much from that. I hope that you come and watch. Hopefully I'll be on live on the Bass Pro Tour this year. Go watch Bassmaster Live, guys. And we got the FLW Pro Series that they're going to be covering live. Live footage is awesome. Do not get the mindset that catching 12 inchers is not good or, versus 5 bass. Guys, I appreciate it. I'm giving you the double outro. Hit the subscribe button. Please hit the notification button, and I'm out.